In rural Indiana stands a maximum security juvenile facility charged with rehabilitating some of America's most dangerous teens.
They don't think, they don't plot, they don't plan. It's whatever's happening right now, they respond to that.
This 91-acre compound is the end of the line for kids who are repeat offenders. The kids other institutions simply can't handle. And it didn't take our cameras long to document why.
With the restraint chair, you have the restraints for the arms. You need to stop.
We're having a hard time getting somebody to come into Seg right now.
Stop.
Fool down here.
Calm down. Stop kicking my door. Stop. 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 Told you to stop, didn't I?
Don't fight. Don't fight. Don't fight. Relax. Relax and we'll relax. Relax and we'll relax. Just relax.
Put the shackles on.
You don't have to bend my hand like that, dog. I swear to God. I'm not going.
I don't know where he was coming from. He got sent here for a criminal act and intimidation on officers and staff.
Relax. I'm relaxed.
It's a little scary because you don't know who or what might get hurt.
We had an offender that went to a hearing, for his counselor and everything else to get his level. He didn't get his level that he wanted, so this is the reaction that he does get.
I'm not. I refuse. Oh my damn mama, I refuse.
What happened was he's combative and he started kicking on the door, resisting, and becoming aggressive. He was administrative OC. It's a pepper spray. It stopped him instantly. It's a 30 to 40 second burn for him. Really hot, like jalapenos. If you ever bit into one of those, how your nose starts. Same effect, but like 1,000 times greater.
What the Someone intimidate these, I didn't do to these nothing.
Once he is secured, the leg irons were replaced with him, and then he's placed into the shower for decontamination. We're gonna pick you up and you're gonna get on your feet, you understand me?
We gonna walk or we gonna carry?
Which one? Spencer, you gonna walk or we gonna carry? Okay, ready, get up.
Sergeant Brian Cooley knows exactly how impulsive teens can be.
Juveniles are much more dangerous than adults. It's very dangerous for staff. If staff are not on their toes around these kids, staff will get hurt. It's very, very easy for them to get caught up in a situation and have it just explode on them with no notice at all.
Here, stop, lift your foot up. Lift your foot up. It's their own time. If they want to stay a long time, they will stay. If they want to stay a short time, they will stay a short time. But it's all due to them. It's all how they want to react with themselves.
As a juvenile, you're committed for a treatment program of rehabilitation, and there is no time attached to most juvenile sentences. When they come in, there's an intake orientation level.
For kids as young as 12 years old, time at Pendleton begins here at the intake unit.
Everybody that comes to the facility comes through here first. You see some that's real timid and scared. You see some that's kind of brash and cocky. So there's a variety of attitudes or personalities that come through here. You're usually in intake maybe a week or two until they reclass you and you find a unit and a program for you to go to. Moyer, come with me this way. Just go ahead and strip down for me. Take everything off. Turn around. What is that? A brand? Is that a gang-related star, man?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
What gang is it?
GD, sir.
Oh. You a gangster disciple?
Yes, sir. I've been locked up 5 years. I haven't seen my family in a while. Because your family likes to leave you when you get locked up in trouble. All your friends disappear. You have no social life, really. You just have you and your cellmates. That's it.
Staff at Pendleton are focused on educating these troubled teens. But intake is just the first step on the road to rehabilitation.
From that, they go into their main core programs, and there are 4 levels there. Once they've completed those 4 levels, they go into transition, and after that, they go into the release, which is the final level. It's not like a boys' camp. It is like a prison. It's a hard-core, hard-locked facility.
The segregation unit is a controlled unit. You know, the people that are in here, they have assaulted staff in the past, or they, you have overt sexual behavior, you have stealing, you have theft. There are some murders that we have here. They are violent. You got chaos going on constantly.
Hancock, I'll be there in a second. What?
This inmate's rage in general population brought him time in segregation.
I got in a fight and gave somebody 15 stitches in his eye. Mom, I got an anger problem and I don't really think before I act, and that was the main problem. Inside, 9, P22, P9.
Every anarchy of prison that you can think of with adults, we have the same subsystems here.
With as many as 48 violent teens kept in a confined area of the facility, the segregation unit has a society all its own. Where cell phones and iPods are replaced by a fast-paced secretive practice known as Cadillacing.
Sometimes it takes a while because you gotta mess your mat up, tear a hole in your mat, and then you put a string all the way around it. And like you get some toilet paper wet, put some cotton or some paper around it, make it in a square, wrap the string around it, and slide it out your doors. So you can traffic food and notes and stuff like that.
The strings come from the mattresses. They're hard strings, so they can cut you, they can, choke people, but mostly they're used for trafficking.
Coming up.
The day that you walk through that front sally port and you're totally comfortable and not a little bit apprehensive coming through that front gate, might be time to start looking for another line of work.
While one offender goes through decontamination.
Whenever you're calm, clear, collective, we will decontaminate you. You understand me?
Another faces the biggest day of his life.
Are you nervous?
Yes, actually, yes, ma'am, I am.
That's good, you should be. This is a big step.
In the unpredictable confines of Pendleton's juvenile segregation unit, staff must always be prepared for violence. 19-year-old Ulysses Sanders isn't shy about the demons that brought him here.
Locked up 4 years. Beat up my mama's boyfriend, and I took his money.
Sanders says his uncontrollable anger comes on without warning. He hopes school and counseling at Pendleton will quiet his rage. 2 years ago, before the facility made major changes in programs and security, Sanders was part of this attack on staff.
We was all in the room, and then one of the offenders came out for a shower. That was before it was all locked down like this. He ran over here, he grabbed the keys from the officer. And ran back to the other side and started opening doors. That's when it all went out of control. We came out the room, started throwing buckets, and some people had mop sticks, swinging mop sticks at staff, batter officers, damage stuff. I don't know, it just built up. When it's happening, you don't really think about it. I don't regret it. I just accept it and move on.
Don't let the word juvenile fool you. Most of these offenders have committed adult crimes. You're going to have some offenders that you'd actually like to have that nice streak about them, but the thing that you got to remember is that they're put here for a reason.
Okay. You don't gotta touch it.
It changes on a day-to-day basis with them too. You'll have good behavior from them from a month, 2 months. Something happens to them, and then that behavior it's shot and done, and they'll be one of the worst persons that you've ever had. And that could be any given day.
What other kind of risk factors you can have once you get out?
With school and counseling mandatory, Superintendent Mike Dempsey also hopes to give juvenile offenders an option other than crime once they're released.
We've been working on a program called the Future Soldier Program. And essentially what it would do is it would identify offenders in our population who would qualify to be a future soldier. The idea is to be able to release them directly from the facility into military service without there being any delay, without there being any community transition delay in place.
Patience is key for staff in order to turn troubled kids around.
We had, for example, a couple offenders, a while back, they acted like they was committing suicide and everything else, and we went in on them, and they're really not committing suicide, they're trying to hurt staff. And you don't want to see it, but it does happen.
The individuals who choose to work here and who stay, who stick it out through the difficult times of working with these adolescents are people that I say, if they can do this job, they can do any job. Because this job will challenge everything about you.
For some kids, it takes more than one stint behind bars to learn a lesson. 18-year-old Michael Brem is nearing completion of a second round in Pendleton.
I was here the first time for 9.5 months. I came back here the second time for the exact same thing. Minor consumption, public intox, have an alcohol problem, and over-the-counter cough medicine problem. Done a lot of that stuff.
Inside Pendleton, military-like structure keeps Brem on the straight and narrow. All offenders must attend school daily. After being locked up for more than 2 years, Michael hopes the 6 months he spent in Pendleton's substance abuse program will give him the skills to stay out for good.
My groups have helped me quite a bit. The substance abuse groups, they helped me, think of things that could keep my time occupied, reasons why I should stay sober, and I'm 18 years old now. Time for me to be an adult, to grow up. I'm done doing all my old things.
Even though Michael has completed his program, he still has to convince Pendleton's Administrative Review Committee he's ready for life on the outside.
The Administrative Review Committee is a process that all the juvenile offenders have to go through. It's like parole board for juveniles. And so it's a high-stakes process where the juvenile offender has to convince the board that they are ready to go back into society.
Okay, you guys ready?
Tired.
How are you, Kyle?
Pretty good.
The decision of the ARC is probably one of the most important decisions that we make here. We're actually sending this offender back out into your community. And so we take this very, very seriously. This is the Administrative Review Committee. We'll introduce ourselves to you. Some of the juvenile offenders go home and some of them don't. We just never know.
I haven't been this nervous since court. I don't know, this pretty much decides my freedom. Doing good, doing good.
All right, Mr. Brem, this is the Administrative Review Committee. Okay. Are you nervous?
Yes, actually, yes, ma'am, I am.
Well, that's good, you should be. This is a big step. Okay. The committee does not have a conversation prior to the offender coming in. We want to be very objective about the process, and so we let the offender come in, and at that point, then we ask all the questions. What I like to do is start off by having you share with us why you're in the Department of Correction, what did you do, why are you locked up?
I'm here for minor consumption, public intoxication, and receiving stolen property.
So this was your first offense?
No, it wasn't my first offense. My first offense was back in 2002. I got caught stealing a pack of cigarettes from Meyer because I was only 13 years old, bad little kid back in the day. Altogether, I was locked up for 8.5 months.
The first time?
Right. And then I got out, and I think I just turned 14 years old. I was 14 in a few months, so I'm still like a kid. And one night, we was getting drunk over there again, and I got in trouble again for another minor consumption. And I came here, and I was only 15 when I got out. So I'm still just this young teenager kid with no responsibilities at all.
How old are you now?
18.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have you stop telling me your story because, quite frankly, you're making a lot of excuses, okay? You're 18 years old now, all right? So all of that doesn't matter anymore, all right?
Yes, I've thought about that a lot.
I'm still talking.
I'm sorry.
Okay. slow down. It doesn't matter anymore. So now I need for you to tell me what you have learned and how you're going to use what you've learned without any excuses.
Coming up, Michael Brem takes on the review committee.
I used the same word that the judge wrote on here. The judge wrote on here, no excuses.
And the guards in SEG face a true test of patience.
You will get decontaminated as soon as you calm down, I told you. Remember that?
Offenders at Pendleton Juvenile Correctional Facility serve anywhere from 6 months to several years behind bars. 18-year-old offender Charles Taylor has been locked up for a year.
I started selling drugs hard, and figure the only way I can eat is to rob somebody. So I go around robbing people, selling cocaine, marijuana, and X pills, just trying to live life. That's what I thought it was.
Drugs weren't Taylor's only problem. He's also a former gangster disciple member. Inside Pendleton, he serves his time in one of America's most innovative and riskiest programs, the gang unit.
On the streets, we was taught to smash a vice lord on sight, which I mean by beat them up as soon as we see them and take what they got, and we was taught to hate them. See, most people want things that they ain't never had before, and they believe money can get you anything. It ain't about bringing you happiness, it's about you want to be on a higher level than an average person. And you want to be somebody that you're not made to be.
Education is the key, whether it's getting your GED or going to trade school or going to college. I mean, the biggest factor that's going to tell whether you guys come back to prison or not is education. Whether that be,
Program Director Eric Courtney oversees the program that puts rival gang members side by side.
what kind of things do you want to teach your daughter that maybe your father wasn't around to teach you? Or, I mean, what kind of things differently do you want to do with yours?
Teach her how to get an education.
In general population, GD and the vice lords, they probably wouldn't associate. They'd be, against each other. They wouldn't talk. And here, since they're isolated, they have to. They realize they're really the same. They're more the same than they are different. Maybe they were brought up different in these rival gangs, but they're really more similar than they are different.
Yeah, I got a little brother. If he got locked up, I feel I was a bad role model because he followed my footsteps, basically.
Me too.
I was very nervous. I felt scared on the inside, but on the outside, I tried to make myself look tough. To go in and let them know I was not playing games. And it wasn't what I thought it would be. We found our own respect up here, and we figured that we got to do something in life instead of just killing each other. That we could just find a way to throw the games in the trash and become something in life.
Finally made it home. Yeah. You happy, man? I'm gonna write you, though. I got your address.
What you trying to say? You gonna stalk me? I'm gonna write you, though.
Leaving today, man.
Yeah.
After 12 months behind bars and hundreds of hours of counseling, today, Taylor is scheduled for release.
This is my room, with my old cell. I call it my 8x6. Just let you know it's got 175 bricks up in here. So all you can do is count them. And I just look out the window, my little old window, just think about the future. It's been a while, you know what I mean? I get to leave the gates, no shackles, no handcuffs. Go home, see all my relatives.
In the year that Charles has been locked up, he has not seen his mother.
I just told her not to come visit me because I figured if you don't get no visits, you'll be desperate to get home. But if you get visits, you'll get comfortable with the place that you at. Y'all keep your head up, man. Yeah. It's sort of the way I am kind of scared to see it, it's been a long time, get a little emotional when I see it. I just want to beat up for my mama, just be a better son now. I'm just proud of myself. I'm ready to go home. Your mom never came yet?
Nah, I ain't seen them yet.
Me too.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone here to Pendleton Juvenile Correctional Facility.
And as the ceremony gets started, this happy day becomes stressful for Charles, who still hasn't spotted his mother.
And before I give out the certificates, Ms. Linda Commons, our Assistant Superintendent, would like to say a few words.
First of all, on behalf of the facility and the Superintendent Dempsey, I want to thank you all for being here today to join in the celebration and success for a new beginning for these 4 gentlemen.
Congratulations.
After months behind bars, freedom is just minutes away.
All right, guys, go ahead and change into your street clothes and you'll be ready to leave soon.
I got my GED. That's the door opener. Now I can take a further step into my life and just to make my mom proud, so I feel good about that.
You get to go. I'm happy for you. Me too.
Stay out of trouble, man.
Red.
Charles' first test of how he handles pressure comes a little sooner than he might have wanted.
His mother called around 11, and she lives 3 hours from here, so we thought that was strange, that a person would wait until an hour before you're supposed to be here to call to say, my car broke down, I can't come. So we encouraged her to find another ride, try to get up here.
Yeah, I talked to her on Friday, but I don't know what's going on right now. She should be down any minute now.
Be patient.
I am.
Keep it together.
If she can't get here today, he'll go back into his unit and just go back to being one of the juvenile offenders until his family gets here. Try to get a hold of his parent, find out what she is going to do, what her plans are, and then communicate that back to either me or the superintendent so we can make a plan. All right?
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I'm cool with it.
Okay. She'll be here, don't you think?
Yeah.
Today? All right. Okay. Let's make this thing happen then.
Okay, I'll get your clothes. And we'll have you change.
Sometimes it can be a couple of days before they can get a ride.
This is right here.
Okay.
I had a feeling something like this gonna happen.
Coming up, more frustration for Charles Taylor and the Pendleton staff.
She must have turned off. It went straight to voicemail.
Meanwhile, Michael Brem fears retribution from his cellmates.
I've seen a guy who was scheduled to go home in 3 days, and someone put a shank in his bed. He didn't get out for another 90 days afterwards.
And extra staff are called in for an uncooperative team.
You've got to get your clothes off, and you've got to get in the shower. Come on.
Indiana's Pendleton Juvenile Correctional Facility is the end of the line in the juvenile system for kids who have committed serious offenses.
Stop! Told you to stop, didn't I?
Don't fight, don't fight, don't fight. Relax. Relax.
Relax.
Extreme anger issues haunt most juvenile offenders who wind up at this maximum security facility.
We're gonna pick you up and you're gonna get on your feet, you understand me?
We gonna walk or we gonna carry?
Which one? Are you gonna walk or are we gonna carry? Huh? Answer me.
You gonna walk or we gonna carry?
Answer me.
I'm gonna walk, man. Okay, now calm down.
Once he does calm down and we can stand there and read him his OC administrative warning, then we'll continue with the decontamination. As long as he's combative like that, that is on him. We will decontaminate him as soon as he becomes non-combative.
Officer Linda Frisbee monitors the situation from inside the control room.
I found out through working with them and on the units, if you show no fear, they don't bother you. They will intimidate officers that are not strong.
As guards wait for the teen to comply and take a shower, Officer Russell Anderson explains the effects of the pepper spray.
It opens up the nasal passages, creates a lot of watering in the eyes, a lot of mucus forming in the nose, can't breathe, shortness of breath, because it just fills up with everything. It's a safe, effective way for them to, be restrained. There's no long-term effects. It's 99% safe.
Oh, I spent 20 years in the United States Navy. I'm retired. And this is the hardest job I've ever had.
Open your eyes, wash it in your eyes, wash up your nose. Not everybody we can stand there and reach. He's going to be a person that we're going to have for a long time down here. He's going across the hall eventually. You know that, don't you? He is. I mean, this is his last try. Last time. The safety and security is my main priority, and it's all the officers' main priority. Everything else is second. What happens when an offender does get like that, you got to snap it off right at the hilt, because the other offenders are going to see that, and then they're going to start acting the same. So it's like a fire. We're searching for compliance out of them. One way or another, we will get compliance.
Understanding the mood swings of juvenile offenders is one of the challenges for staff. Just an hour after this intense scene, the calm teen talks freely with guards. While officers are trained to keep staff and offenders safe, reinforcement is close by in the rare case of an emergency.
Once we get past the point of physical force, we move into chemical weapons. This is pepper spray. We've got the stream, which is used on individuals, and then we've got the fogger, which we have to fog spaces like seg cells or things like that. The next weapon system we have is a pepper ball gun. It actually fires a 67 caliber pepper ball. We can use this to shoot off the walls and fog an area if we can't get directly to an offender or if they're out of the range of the spray. This is very, very similar to the tear gas that you see police use, where if there's a large area that they need to affect to move people back or control their movement, this is what we're going to employ. And finally, this is actually a riot control weapon. It fires a 37 millimeter wooden baton round. The round's fired at the floor and it's skipped into the offender's legs. It is designed to discourage offenders from doing what they're doing and to get them to move back.
Unfortunately for staff, they're not the only ones armed. Homemade weapons of every kind are routinely confiscated from clever teens.
What do we got? Was this wrapped around it?
Yeah.
Is that how it was found?
Yeah.
Thank you. Slow your roll, gentlemen. The dish room's hot, that is all. This is a fire alarm. We're going to go ahead and move to the fire exit. On the off chance that this is actually a fire, stop running.
Everybody go to the right side where the alley is.
You got everybody out of here?
Yeah.
If there's a lot of steam in there, it'll set off the fire system. It's very, very sensitive. So we'll clear this count probably here in a couple of minutes, and it'll be back to business as usual in the dining hall. But this right here, this does warrant a little bit of concern. Could probably cut somebody with it. A handle there. These offenders are anything but dumb. Educationally, they may be lacking, but as far as ingenuity and creativity, a lot of these guys are off the chart. Most of the collection of things we have here, you'd look at every day and never think it could be used to injure, maim, or kill you.
A knife made from a clipboard, a puncture weapon made from the earpiece of a pair of eyeglasses, a blade made from the metal hanger of a file folder, a slashing weapon fashioned from a toothbrush and a razor blade, even a homemade tattoo gun made from ordinary items found in the facility.
It's very difficult to stay one step ahead of the inmates. They are creative.
Every day, the officers in SAG walk a thin line between managing a teen's harmful behavior and adding fuel to the fire.
He's got a rope in his room. It's probably about 4.5, 5 feet long that he's working on tearing apart and getting rid of.
Officer Daly, 44. Signal B3 control, please. We need to shut Hancock's water off. He's making a rope with his orange stuff and he's flushing it down the toilet.
He said he was trying to stuff up his toilet, so that's why he turned his water off.
Well, the first thing you got to keep in mind is they are in prison, and they're not in, for jaywalking or anything. They are violent. So we do have some dangerous kids. But in all, they're still teenagers, and you got to understand that they are teenagers.
Can you please turn my water back on?
Why are you trying to stop up the commode?
He'll have it off for the rest of the day, probably on a 24 to 48 hour restriction.
I'm not going to stand there and go into his room and rip it out, because then he'll start cutting on himself, scratching his face, tearing up his lights, tearing everything else up. This is just a reoccurring thing. So if he's getting rid of it, that's fine, because he'll go out for a rec tomorrow or today. As soon as he does, I'll just strip everything out of his room.
After the destructive inmate is removed from his cell, Sergeant Russell Anderson and Officer Randy Daly conduct a search.
They've torn open the pillow, cut open the corner. Nice. Not supposed to have anything like that here.
As you can see by Officer Daly, there's a lot of STG on the wall. Security threat groups, it's gang-related graffiti. They do get rolled up for trafficking, they get rolled up for destruction of state property, then they lose their levels, which pushes them back farther.
Toilet paper. Cadillac.
20.
They're impulsive. They think about right here and now.
I'll give you a second chance. Don't flood the toilet.
Coming up, 2 longtime offenders learn if their days behind bars are finally coming to an end.
I think there is a chance they could ask me to stay longer. I am nervous that I might lose control, get angry, do something I might regret.
And will Charles' mother come through?
I know they're on their way this time.
After serving 6 months at the Pendleton Juvenile Correctional Facility on drug charges, release day has finally arrived for 18-year-old Charles Taylor. All he needs is his mother's signature, and he will be free.
If she can't get here today, he'll go back into his unit. He'll have to. Sometimes it can be a couple of days before they can get a ride.
This is right here.
Okay. I had a feeling that something like this was gonna happen.
Unfortunately for him, though, she missed his graduation ceremony, and Charles is now back in his prison uniform.
This is one of the more frustrating aspects of working in a juvenile facility. Obviously, he's done everything that he needed to do in order to be released from the program. I'm sure his heart's been ripped out, but in his mind, the parents didn't even care enough to come and make sure that he got picked up today. So I'm frustrated. I'm sure he's really frustrated as well.
Now Charles is unsure where his mother is and when she'll show up to get him.
Taylor's parents are not here. Johnson's parents are.
Hopefully they didn't get lost.
Hopefully not. We got a little confused as to which parent was almost here. We have 2 offenders that are scheduled for release today. Both sets of parents are on their way here, however, they haven't arrived yet. We thought offender Taylor's mother was almost here, and it wound up being offender Johnson's mother who's almost here.
She'll be here, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna rush it through it. As long as she get down here to get me, I'll be fine with that situation.
Let's try her again. She must have turned off. It went straight to voicemail.
Oh. As long as she get down here, though.
Should be here.
The captain isn't the only one sweating. Staff throughout the facility are nervous about what comes next for Charles.
Charles is obviously frustrated. He was worried about this before. I think he's had some issues with mother coming through and not always being there. So he's upset, he's worried. It's obviously frustrating. We built this kid up to do this so you can get home. Follow the rules, work this program, make some changes so you can go home. And they've done the work. They followed the rules, they've worked the program. They've done everything they had to do, and then mother doesn't come through. It's no fault of their own.
I'm in the captain's office. It's somewhere where most people don't go. Feel privileged. Chilling with the El Capitan, the head Gotino, the head honcho, the head of all heads.
That's enough. You're going home. We already signed the papers.
On the way home.
Some students, when they come to me, school is either a good place or a bad place, and they're either don't care and don't want to care, or they're working towards getting out of here as quickly as possible. And Charles is one of those students who came to me ready to do what he needed to do to get out of this facility. And I think he has leadership potential. I hope, I pray that he does well, because he really could. He could do wonderful things.
While Charles Taylor makes the best of a wait that is already stretched to more than 5 hours, 18-year-old Michael Brem continues his grueling interview with the committee that will decide his fate.
I haven't been this nervous since court. I don't know, this pretty much decides my freedom.
Program Director Chris Blessinger cuts to the core of Michael's problems.
You and I have had conversations before, and one of those conversations has been about the seriousness, about the extensive history that you have using substances.
Right.
And if you look back on a lot of your charges, a lot of those charges were when you were high or when you were drunk. So what is going to be different this time when you get out?
I have a lot more access to things when I get out, like groups, I'm gonna go to AA and NA meetings. I'm really gonna try my hardest. Like I said, I'm an adult now. I really have to change, and if I continue this, then I'm gonna be dead, or I'm gonna be in a wheelchair. And that scares me, it really does, you know, because I know the temptation is gonna be out there in my face.
Does anybody in your family drink or smoke or use drugs? Anybody in your extended family?
My mom, she quit drinking. She quit drinking for me because I asked her to. I was like, Mom, when I go home, you know, I know you like to have your cocktails every now and then, but you're gonna do me a favor and stop that. She told me she respects that and she'll do it for me.
You're exactly right, because if you're around it, you're gonna be tempted.
Okay, Michael, I'm going to have you go over in that room and wait for a second while we have a discussion, and then we'll have you come back out. Thank you.
What's going on? Everything sounded good. I answered every question straightforward, best I could. Told them what my plans are when I get out. And the captain said I've done a good program. Miss Blessinger agreed. They said that they're proud of me, that I got my GED on my own free will. Hope everything goes well.
I think he's a party animal. What do you think?
Oh, definitely.
Back in the captain's office, Charles Taylor's wait for his mother enters its 6th hour.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can't get a hold of his mom again and see how far out she is, or if she's hung in traffic. Okay, bye. Let's try her again.
I feel my mama getting close. Feel in my heart. The best part of the body. The heart.
Just kicked over to her voicemail again.
Try the 736 number. And my sister, she's an answer. You should tell her call the phone. Call my mother's phone. And see where they located and she can call you back.
What's your sister's name?
Sherelle. I'm very eager to see her. It's been a long time. She been there for me through thick and thin. So it's always gonna be that way. I mean, I done been through more stressful obstacles, you know what I mean? So I feel like I can overcome this one more with ease.
He's done what he needs to do. He has nothing left to prove. She has guaranteed me she'd be here, so hopefully, if she won't be here, I'll drive him home myself.
No pickup.
Coming up, this 3-time offender learns his fate.
If there are no further questions, we'll take a vote of the Administrative Review Committee on the recommendation that Michael be promoted to the release phase.
And a long day comes to an end for Charles Taylor.
With Mother not following through on this, the kid regresses often. They have nothing to work for. There's no home to go to. There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
The best way that I can describe this place to someone that's never been here is just imagine being locked in a room with 23 people that do not like you. It's the best way I can describe this place.
It's been nearly an hour since Michael Brem took his best shot at convincing the Administrative Review Committee he should be released from Pendleton.
This decision makes a difference to the community. It's not just ours. So we do second guess ourselves at times and have a heart for the offender, but we can't let that be the deciding factor. It can't be.
At the ripe age of 18, Brem has spent a total of 2 years behind bars.
Hopefully people don't come here. This is one place they don't want to go.
Okay, Michael, do you have any questions for us?
It's very stressful. Hopefully if I could accept it, I'll only have 2 weeks left.
I'm actually looking at a piece of paper from Hendricks County, and I used the same word that the judge wrote on here. The judge wrote on here, no excuses. Okay? See that? So I think something that you need to start thinking about is all these things that you've done while you were young, you didn't get enough treatment, or you were hanging out with the wrong people, or whatever. You're 18 years old now, all right? So all of that doesn't matter anymore. For us as the Administrative Review Committee, we have the opportunity then to sit back and look at everything that's happened over the course of months or years that the offender's been here, and from that, make the right decision. Are we always right? No. If there are no further questions, we'll take a vote of the Administrative Review Committee on the recommendation that Michael be promoted to the release phase.
Support.
I agree.
I agree. Congratulations, you have your promotion.
Thank you. You have no idea how much this means to me. I feel like 1,000 pounds has been lifted off of my shoulders. I feel really good. I mean, I haven't had this good of a feeling in like 7 months.
In 2 weeks, Michael Brem will be allowed to leave, but not even that is a guarantee of freedom. For most of the day, Charles Taylor has been waiting for his mother to arrive and sign the papers that will free him. Despite several false alarms, Charles has not lost hope.
I got a feeling she probably someone like Kokomo. Should be it down there soon. Just waiting on Mom. All right. All right.
After 8 excruciating hours, Charles' faith and patience is about to pay off.
Hey, your mom's here.
Gonna keep it this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it this time.
I'm glad to have my child back. That's the main thing. You gonna be all right, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna be all right.
We finally made it.
Okay. Keep with your plans.
Good luck. Good luck, ma'am. Bye-bye. Charles?
No more looking back.
Pull your pants up.
Yeah, look. Oh, I don't look. We gonna handle all that. I'm gonna get him a belt.
Charles Taylor is actually one of my favorite kids that went through this program. He wants to be a Navy SEAL. I think he could be a great one. I have a lot of hope for him. I'm hoping he keeps in contact with us and let us know how he's doing.
Feel good seeing my mom, man. I ain't seen her in a long time. Long time.
For Charles Taylor and Michael Brem, a change in mindset and attitude is evident after months of intensive rehab at Pendleton. But tomorrow, staff will start all over again with the 300 teens who still remain behind bars.